the Speak Knowledge series at CMPL Expo 2025. Come on, a huge round of applause. I want to hear the energy level, a huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Charlene Fernandez, your host for today, and I promise you all a very enriching day ahead. After a power-packed opening day filled with investor insights, product deep dives, and disruptive innovation, we are kicking off today with a session that brings it all together. The real stories behind building breakthrough brands. Welcome to our first session of the day, Powerhouse Founders Unfiltered, Hustle, Hack, Disrupt. It's not a panel, it's a no-fluff, founder-first roundtable, where some of the boldest voices in India's D2C and omnichannel space go completely unfiltered. From product obsession to team chaos, bold bets to brutal lessons, you'll hear what it really takes to build, break, and bounce back in today's fast-moving FMCG world. Please welcome our moderator for this session, Mr. Raaj Chakravarti. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, please? Founder of the Bazaar, a sharp observer of brand culture, consumer psychology, and founder grit. Warm welcome to you, Raj. Joining him is our powerhouse panel, Soumyadeep Mukherjee. Huge round of applause for him, please. Founder and CEO, Spice Story. I can't hear the claps from this side. Joining them, we have Gayatri Chona, co-founder Phab. A warm welcome to Gayatri. Joining them, we have Vishal Gupta, founder Gynoveda. And joining them, we have Ravi Ramachandran, co-founder and CEO Newer. If we can take a seat as per the screen, we can take a seat as we have mics. Over to you, Raj. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for the delay. It's actually me who just got delayed. I'm so sorry. And thank you so much for joining in today. We had a great session yesterday. In fact, the same space, same place. And that was a packed house as well. I'm going to make this quick. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Ravi, Vishal, Gayatri, and Shom. We do this customary quick introduction from your end as to who you are and what you do for everyone out here, please. If you could start with you, Ravi.
Hi, everyone. Firstly, thanks for the invitation to be on this panel. It's a pleasure to be on a panel with all of you. So my name is Ravi. I'm the founder and CEO of Newer. We are a women's wellness brand, currently focused on menstrual wellness. So we make products such as sanitary pads, tampons, etc. We also have... check. We also are very focused on bringing in awareness and education around this space. I think there's a lot to be done in this country, and thereby providing some sort of a holistic experience for women in India.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Vishal, quick one.
Yeah, I'm Vishal Gupta. I'm the founder of Gynoveda. Well, when Gynoveda started in 2019, Ravi, Newer was still there, and we started in the menstrual space. And Newer was a big inspiration for us. Currently, Gynoveda is India's largest Ayurveda fertility clinic for couples. We have 50 clinics across 40 cities of India, and we are scaling to about 300 cities, 300 clinics over the next 2 years.
Fabulous. Yes, the fabulous Gayatri, please.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name's Gayatri Chona. I'm a nutritionist who's turned entrepreneur now. I run the company called Phab. For us, it's all about health and taste first. The idea was to simplify health and simplify nutrition and to break the myth that what's healthy cannot be tasty. For us, our ethos at Phab is to bring the best product there. We are protein-first brand. We do energy bars, ready-to-drink protein shakes, and the idea was to have health on the go and make it convenient for everybody.
Shom, please.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm Soumyadeep and I run a brand called Spice Story. हम हिंदुस्तान के सबसे फ्लेवरफुल कंपनी हैं. हम चटनियाँ बनाते हैं and we have been doing it for the last 6 years. Hopefully continue with it. And we sell flavors. We are here to glamorize Indian products, Indian flavors. And I say we take it to the world all over again. That's what we do.
Thank you, gentlemen, and Gayatri, thanks for this. Today's, the theme is, we spoke about it, Powerhouse Founders, Unfiltered, Hustle, Hack, and Disrupt. So we're going to go really deep, really, we're going to ask pointed questions. We're going to get stuff out of them that possibly they don't, tell us in other channels and other places. So are you guys ready for this? It's going to be a little hard on you guys. I'm going to start with Soumyadeep, who's a close friend as well, and he runs, as you know, Spice Story. Shom, the question to you is, you built a category that didn't exist, okay? And urban bottled chutneys, I haven't seen it before Spice Story. And your GTM involved going wide very fast across a lot of retail outlets, right? My question to you is, what were the hardest conversations you had with trade channel partners who didn't quite get it, right? What was this product? Why should I keep it? That's the question for you.
The hardest question is why should I keep it? I would not say I created the category. What I did was definitely organize the category because like pickles primarily, chutneys in India till now also is primarily unorganized, where most large format kirana stores will have a private label, a homemade brand just packed in a polythene pack and kept across. In fact, when I started, I wanted to become India's first hot sauce company. And then when I went to the market, I realized this is a huge white space. Why not do this? And it's a category जो लोग ले रहे हैं already, right? Biggest challenge obviously was to tell a shopkeeper why should they have me. I always tell my friends, my peers that I'm in the luxury business. Why luxury business? Because I need the shopkeeper and the customer more than they need me. आप लोगों ने मेरी चटनी पता खाई नहीं है, आपके लाइफ में क्या बिगड़ा है? मतलब रेमडेसिविर थोड़ी खरीदा आपने, चटनी है ना अल्टीमेटली, तो लाइफ ऑल्टरिंग नहीं है. So I need you more than you need me. So when the equation is of that sort, then the experience is much more humbling and the business becomes that more difficult. So the biggest question to answer, the hardest question to answer is why should they take you on the shelf and why should they give you a chance? Because for the shopkeeper, for him that square inch is pious. You cannot, for him, his velocity of that square inch is the most important part.
Being on that shelf, you mean?
Yeah, and I tell people that when you say D2C boom in India, 90% D2C brands are in D2C because they can't do offline. That's true. तो मजबूरी में D2C कर रहे हैं. जगह तो Amazon पे भी नहीं है. मतलब आप दार्जिलिंग टी डालेंगे तो 150 पेज है. And none of you goes to page 2. Right? And 75%.
So, I'm sorry. How did you deal with it then? How did you tackle it? Because you had these problems that.
No, so you have only two options. Either you have huge money to build the business or you have patience. I chose patience because I didn't have the money. So you have to be slow, steady, build saliency, and there will be a time. So today, when I started the business, I went offline in 2019. Luckily, COVID happened. And we had to pivot to online, and we have been building e-commerce for the last 5 years now. Now, when I go to offline stores and say that I'm Spice Story, I can realize the change in tone of the people because now they know my brand to a certain extent. We are still in a discovery phase, but at least वो कुछ जानता है हमारे बारे में. And when he Googles it, he gets some detail. तो उसका confidence level थोड़ा बढ़ जाता है बनिस्बत 5 साल पहले के. So I think the only way to build is patience, or else you have that shitloads of money where become magician and do anything overnight, right?
So I'm going to take this forward with Gayatri. Gayatri, incidentally, and luckily I'm sure you're a little well funded, and you're also in a similar category though. You need retail shelf space for it to be, spread out wide. My question is the same, as well as a little addition is, you're building a brand that is, very low price tolerance that people have. There's high churn and high shelf demand. How have you managed to not just get the product on the shelf, also to maintain trials and loyalty? Because it's been substantial, right? There's huge sales that's happening. I see Phab everywhere, and I think Super U is following that. We call it the slipstream,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So how did you solve these?
So one thing is for sure that it's a cluttered space and it's only getting more and more cluttered. It's the health boom for India. It's the protein boom, which has finally come. We've all been, as Phab, we started with protein in 2020, just pre-COVID. And we were sitting on the fence. People didn't know protein. That time protein was all about kidney kharab ho jayega, it's not good for me, etc., etc. Now anything and everything is protein. I mean, look at Amul, they're doing protein water. There's protein in everything, right? So there are many brands coming in. So the noise is there, the clutter is also there. The idea, I think the only thing where we just, what you have to take a stand and where you stand out is consistently deliver on taste and your quality. Because today, when there are 10 options, and as a consumer, I will try 10. Because again, the barrier to entry is very little. If I'm buying a 50 rupee thing, the thought about lena hai, nahi lena hai, sochna is very little. Nobody will overthink as a consumer. When the spends are higher, you overthink that. So today, a person will try all 10 brands. There is loyalty is very little when it comes to a consumer in a space like this. So you have to consistently deliver on taste, and that's number one. The second thing is being innovative. When it comes to food, people want to experiment. They want to keep trying. How do I keep my consumer hooked to coming back to Phab and trying something? If they're used to eating a choco brownie of my brand, how do I get them to keep coming back? I have to give them new flavors. I have to keep innovating in the flavor category. It could be new category production, starting a new category. Like we have bars, we have shakes, we've also done granola. We are also launching a new product coming. So my NPD has to constantly be at it to make sure the consumer's constantly engaged. The third, which is I think number one, is distribution. The biggest thing is jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai. If I am not available, a person will not be, if they want to eat a energy bar or a protein bar or drink something at that time, if they don't find my brand, whether it's an offline store and an online space, they will buy something else. They will not go back on my website or go looking for me and be like, oh, I will order from there. There are very few, 90% of consumers will switch and buy something else. And that's what we've seen. So availability of product is number one there. And then we do a lot of sampling activities offline. So we are offline as well. And I agree with Soumyadeep. A place like India, well, D2C, online, all of those things are important. Not alienating offline cannot be anything that you do. We have to be present offline as well. So doing sampling activity, different promoter-led activations on ground, collabs with other brands. All these things keep building the brand visibility, and it's also the person keeps remembering the brand. They'll be like, okay, yes, we've seen this. You see it at different touch points in different places, and kinds of brand recall is very important. For me to always be relevant is something that gets people to keep consuming and keep coming back for more.
Just want to add a point. I recently came across a post with nostalgia in it. Like
yes.
Wafers, we all grew up having wafers, but then you cut the sugar off and then you added protein in it and millets in it. So it's like, for me, I remember the same thing. When I think that's another. So for you, it's reinventing a category, if I was to say that. Is that correct?
So India as a country, we are all big on snacks. From sweets after khane ke baad meetha to the 4 baje nashta, or something with the chai, something with the coffee. We all want that. The idea is that nahi khana is not an option. And I've seen that with my years of practice. If I tell a person, don't eat, they will not eat for 1 month. After that, they will go back to eating their farsan or chivra or something or the other. It's inherently there. And I can make an insipid food and give it to you. You will eat it, but you'll think, "Theek hai, abhi ke liye kar lunga." Then after a point, it's like rubber band. We will go back to what's comfort food and what's tasty. So the idea is to take those comfort foods, take what India is used to, that palate we are used to, and then simplify it, make it a better version of it, and give it to the people.
Clean it up as well, I would
100%.
imagine.
Yes.
Vishal, on to you. We have a little bit of a tricky question for you. It's like, very well written. It says that you operate at the intersection of taboo, science, and scale. Do you agree to that? First. I do agree. Okay. And Gynoveda has managed to build clinical credibility and consumer trust. My question to you is, what was the most critical decision you took early on that helped women take you seriously, like the market take you seriously? considering you solving for women? That's what the...
So, well, I think we started with solving for women. I think we started Gynoveda with a vision that with Ayurveda, you can solve the world's menstrual problem, right? Which is, the biggest one is PCOS. The second one is delayed periods. And the vision was that you don't need a doctor. You simply, watch our content. We have over-the-counter Ayurveda products. You consume them. And your PCOS, the biggest difference that we said was PCOS can be cured. You don't have to manage it lifelong. And so far, we have done that for 1 lakh women. And we have done clinical trial on our medicines. And it is proven that you can cure PCOS.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we started with that. But we soon realized that India is not ready for self-care, which means I need a doctor to hold my hand. That is a large part of Bharat. The large part of hand-holding is important.
Trust, you would say as well, right? Trust in his ability or her ability.
Yes. So I think in spite of being in the business for 4 years, we had just been in the business for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And last year, that's where we took the step. And coming to your question, what did we do early on in business to win the trust of women? Actually, we had to pivot our business. After acquiring close to 5 lakh customers, we realized that we will not be able to go to 50 lakh customers.
In the traditional way.
In the D2C way. Yeah. Because D2C as a business, as a channel, D2C is not a business, it's a channel. I mean, if we have to grow business, we soon realized there are 3 vectors to grow business. Vector number 1 is you have product categories. So you expand your product categories. In our case, it was menstruation. We expanded into fertility. We expanded into wellness products. We soon realized that we don't have the DNA. We went all the way out to even do wellness cosmetics. And we realized that as a company, as founders, we don't have the DNA to do that. We are great at one thing. So we pulled back and we said, this is what we are great at. So you expand the product categories. The second way of actually scaling the business is expanding the channels. That's why I say D2C is a channel. It's not a business.
So your offline played a major part in...
So clinic became last year the massive play.
Correct.
Right? And we are currently tripling our revenue almost a year now. Right? So I think our growth rate is... So that's the big change we did early on, which is when the world said go the D2C route, we went the D2C route, but we scaled back. Very quickly realized that D2C fundamentally as a channel will never make money. Yeah. Right?
Do you guys agree? Sorry, just an interjection. Do you agree? Gayatri agrees, Shom agrees. I'll come to you, Ravi, anyway for a more detailed question, but do you agree as well? You have products as well, right?
Yeah, but partially.
You have a different...
Partially.
Wow. So let me just finish this with Vishal. My question to you is exactly on this point. So while you were pivoting, while you were changing tracks, while you were doubling down on something else, what was the resistance? Were your investors with you? Was your team with you? Or was it just a solo, I think this is the best way to do it? Was data proving this to you? Where was that little...
No, I think one, market gave us the feedback. So we need to intimately understand our consumer. And the detractors in our business were the ones that guided us that we should be making this change from going D2C to clinics. So there was a massive resistance. There were, out of all the investors that I have on my cap table, not even a single one voted for clinic.
Oh.
And in fact, they were staunchly against going the clinic route.
I would imagine so, because that's how they funded you, saying it's an online business, right? So
it is an online business.
How did you steer that? That's very exciting and interesting to know that piece.
I think the only 2 people...
People don't want to be...
Investment. No, it's brick and mortar. At the end of the day, there's so much money, your capex, overheads just double, triple when you go offline versus online. But
Which is true, but I'm sure he has not gone ballistic on day 1. He has also taken it step by step. But I also understand, and I've felt over the few years, is that because of the D2C and because of platforms like this, what has happened, the glam quotient in D2C is a tad bit higher than offline. Offline is typically the boring, day-to-day mundane thing. A lot of people don't say, "Arey yaar, ye to sabhi kar rahe hain," but sab nahi kar rahe hain. Sure. Yeah. Today it's the other way around. Today there are 100 brands doing D2C, but only 2 brands doing offline.
No, I think for us, investors resisted that for several reasons. Number one, obviously D2C की हवा थी, and nobody believed that D2C का business इतना ही हो सकता है, आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता. वो D2C का business बिल्कुल बढ़ सकता है, but there are categories for that. The second is clinic is a very, very conventional business. It has been there for years. Third, it is capex heavy. Fourth, it is slow to scale as compared to D2C, where we built a 150 crore business in just 2 years. But contrary to that, actually clinic business, we have built a 200 crore business in just 1 year, right? So that's the rate at which we are growing. So to go against the guidance of our team, our investors, everybody, there are only 2 people in the company who believe that the category, which is Ayurveda fertility clinic for couples, can be created, was me and my wife, who's my co-founder. And to your question, Raj, on how did we tackle that resistance? We just listened to our inner voice, and we didn't listen to our investors. I think the secret mantra to building great businesses is don't listen to your investors.
You see the kind of like the happiness that people have. Don't listen to the investors. That's, I think, the... Ravi, onto you. It's actually completely an opposite play that I would kind of... so you built, as we say, content, community, and design to change the tone of women's health in India, right? And that's where Nua started now. Now, you scale D2C well, though, I would imagine, right? Do you, like, obviously you had a point of view, you're itching to put in your thoughts, like, but when you went offline, what did you see? What was the data that came at you? And where's the game now? If you can just help us a little bit.
Yeah, firstly, great move, I think. So I come from Kerala, and where Ayurveda is a thing, right? For many years, so it's good to see you taking this approach and scaling up. Yeah, it's much needed. Yeah, so look, to go to the previous point on, can you make money on DTC? You can, but it depends on what category you're in, how you build sort of your technology and stuff like that. So ours is if you get in our category, which is obviously menstrual wellness and sanitary pads and etc. If you work on the product and if you invest in the brand, all you need is a customer to buy once. And if it's good, it just keeps going on, right? So over a period of time, if you have, if bulk of your business is repeats, then you don't have marketing spends, and then you can make money. But yes, can you scale it? No, right? You can't scale it beyond a certain point. So I agree with everyone here that ultimately we need to be where the consumers are, offline, online, whatever, right? I think our challenge fundamentally has been this category in itself. So it is, it's traditionally been seen as a taboo space. So unlike, let's say the Phab, the nutrition sort of thing. I was just telling Gayatri earlier today that the nearest store to my house, you enter in, the front of the...
Fabulous all over.
Yeah, that's Phab, and that category is right up front. Ours will be somewhere in the back that's not visible, right? So it's not something that sort of is flaunted, for example. Second problem for us is that a bulk of the offline sales comes from over-the-counter chemists. So there is no visibility. So it's not enough for me to put the product and, because it's not going to be visible. So availability is not enough, visibility is difficult. So we still need to work on some sort of a brand pull, right? Until then, no one's going to talk about this product, and women won't see that the product is even there in that store. So hence, for us, it was slightly different. We had to generate some level of brand pull before, we started channel expansion. So which is why we were DTC first, we scaled it to a particular level, then now it's a fully profitable business. Then we moved to marketplaces and quick commerce and all that. They've been rapidly scaled up profitably. And now we are on that path to offline. We started with modern trade and now slowly into general trade. All of them are happening profitably, right? But it is obviously not something you can scale really fast. It needs capability building. So far, nothing is broken for us because I spent, I think 15 years of my career doing offline business in FMCG space. So you know what's coming. It's incredibly hard. And I believe that the whole offline thing is a capability building exercise over a long period of time. I don't think VC money will solve for it. I don't think you can scale overnight. You need to build, relationships with the distribution ecosystem, the retailers. You need to build trust. You also need to build, processes and systems so that, there's so many examples of, there are as many examples of companies in the DTC space who've burned to ground doing DTC, and equal number as that are people who try to scale up offline business fast and burn to the ground, right? So it's got its own challenges. So for us, I think nothing is broken yet, but we are very clear that we have to build it slowly and steadily, build the capabilities, understand how you make money in that channel, and then scale, right? Once you get the
So this brings me to a very relevant question. It's customer love. Finally, you have channels at play. You have your products available everywhere. You have a great communication strategy. Finally, it has to be a customer wanting your product, right? Whether it's through a D2C channel, whether it's offline, I've got to go ask for it, right? Or even if I see it, I've got to go buy it, right?
Yeah.
So just this question is for both of you. I mean, we all have content at play. But in your case, you guys, like Vishal, you said, you guys started with content. So there was an educational and an awareness phase, right? I mean, I don't need to make people aware, apart from that protein, which is like I would say a little bit of a fun thing right now. But in your case, there was a definite. So you guys both played a content game, right? Yeah. Am I correct to assume that?
Absolutely, Raj. I think...
So Vishal, the question in this case is, in that, now that you got offline as well, does it still play as important a part in your strategy, growth strategy, or is it, okay, I can, dial down on the content pieces?
No. So I think content continues to play, in my case, the core and the primary role to acquire customers.
Okay.
So I believe, and what we have learned in this business is, you can sell it in two ways, right? One is a business like Phab, where Gayatri is saying that it's an extremely crowded market. The only way to really stand out there is to be top of the mind brand. So invariably, you will have to spend on brand building, right? Where you have to emerge as a top of the mind, trusted brand. In my case, I'm building a category. In 5,000 years of Ayurveda history, there has never been a time where somebody has used Ayurveda for fertility at scale and produced 20,000 babies. Oh, wow. Right? In Gynoveda has been able to help 20,000 couples get a baby, and they were distinctly told that they can never become parents.
Wow. I think that calls for a round of applause here. I mean, this is remarkable stuff.
So in this case, content is playing the role of education.
True.
So either you're going to spend in business building a brand, or you're going to spend in the business educating people. So in our case, education has worked. And what is a better way of educating than actually great content?
Which then segues into building a brand automatically, because
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an
whoever
choice.
educates the market eventually, has the benefit
Correct.
of being the first mover.
And also the long term.
The
Correct. I have a question for Gayatri and Shom together. So both of you have very complex distribution, right? We understand the channels are all over the place and very retail heavy, fragmented India. Now, what tech or people layer helped you scale without losing control?
What tech you're asking?
Tech or people? Were you dependent on tech, like for distribution tech? Were you dependent on people? Were you like you had, feet on the ground? What really, clocked for you? Like what really stood out? Both, one after the other.
So I think if I have to answer this, I would say there has to be a mix of both. Especially when it comes to online, you need tech. And there are so many tools now that are available. I mean, ChatGPT is literally the surface of it, right? There are 100 AI tools that can be used. I mean, right now we are engaging with one of these tools, which will literally tell me my availability of my product in every dark store.
Gobble Cube is what you're
Yes,
talking about.
yeah,
That's
Gobble Cube.
interesting.
They tell me my availability. So today I could be spending lakhs of rupees in marketing, banners, etc. on my quick com platforms on Amazon, etc. But if I'm not available in those dark stores, my money is going to waste. Absolutely nothing. This platform is telling me that I am not available in the Bandra store. I'm not available. So I can at that time pivot and change my strategy for that day, or call them up and say, listen, hey, push my product and get me available. So available.
Or make it available. I'll send your
make sure you get it available, because then they will send it from their long stores to the dark stores. So tech is right now, I think, and we are not even scratched the surface. I keep telling, I want someone who is an AI specialist to come in, because there is so much that can be done, and I really feel that there will be certain jobs that will become redundant thanks to AI. Things like creatives. We make banners, creatives. I just give the prompt and AI will make those for us. We have designers, they're always doing something or the other. So when we don't have the time, we'll get tech to do it for us. So I think tech is very important in online, in offline as well. Offline as a business is very dependent on people. So feet on street. So while there have to be systems where you have your DMS systems and Bajong and all of those that do your field assist for sales officers, etc., which are there. But these tools will help us get even if you get the best quality of people, these tools help to get controls on them. When I'm doing distributor ordering, to make sure how my secondary data is coming. Data is king at this point. I may have stock sitting at distributor. My primary numbers may look great. I've done excellent primary numbers. But if I don't have sight of what my secondary numbers look like, which I will only get the best from these different apps which we're using. And that is actually, right now we're in the process. I burnt my hands. We did that. We had, we started offline first, and we have feet on street. We are scaling up. We've launched South and parts of North now. In fact, the biggest mistake was when we did that initially, we spread out too thin. We actually shut down the North market, scaled back, concentrated only on West. Now when we started North, we're doing it with tech. So I think that they both play a very important role to get quality in data.
So I'll just add to what Gayatri is saying. I think when I look at all the all of us today who are on the panel, our business is actually not tech. Yeah. Our business is to fulfill the need of the consumer, whether it is health or spice or something to do with health, intimate hygiene. Our central business is not tech.
Yeah, agree.
So the tech in our business play the role of an enabler.
Correct, absolutely.
Whereas if there is a business like a SaaS, where you're building a product for a company like me, actually tech is not an enabler. Tech is your business.
But Vishal, what you would imagine is happening, which companies like GobbleCube and all are coming out from the deep, they're actually solving blank spaces. They're filling those, which he had no, I mean, as I would imagine, you wouldn't know what is there or not there at certain places. I think that'll permeate and become a lot more common now. But I think tech is an enabler, right? Yes, but it is becoming extremely powerful, an ally, I would say, to your excels, as you would.
I think it also brings method to the madness, right?
Correct.
It helps today if I want to scale. This is what will help me scale. Just adding feet on street will not help me scale.
And it's also, I would say, blending in, because it's a new channel, they need to also know what works in that case. Shom, I just want to add one thing. You are also building a distribution network. Many people don't know. He's building, he wants to solve for distribution offline. So, very relevant question for you.
So, I also feel that, for the longest time, so and life is very different when you are working for somebody and then you start off your own, right? It's just two different things. So I was very amused when people say, data ka kya ho raha hai? Data ka kya ho raha hai? Data is like the favorite girlfriend that everybody had. Problem is, half the people don't infer data. The data is sitting there, uska koi inference nahi hai, right? So what do you do with data? So what Gayatri just said or what Ravi just said, the benefit is that if you have data and if you are not using it, then that entire tech has gone to dogs, right? किसी काम का ही नहीं रहा वो tech. आपने वो tech लिया, फिर किया, right? So I have met founders who have said, I have just gone to Reliance now. अब क्या होगा? अब तो लोग आधार कार्ड लेके आएंगे और मेरा माल ले लेंगे, right? ऐसा होता नहीं है, right? Because that's when the work starts. If Reliance has said that, okay, welcome, put it on my shelf, that is when your work starts as a brand. Half the people don't understand that. Similarly, like she's taken over and taken over an app which helps her gets data to see which dark stores the products are and not there. If she sits on it, the data won't do anything on its own, right? ChatGPT or a DeepSeek won't help you build your business. They can tell you, hello, wake up, hello, good morning, hello, good evening, will you wake up, will you do this, right? So what Raj mentioned, what I realize is in India, nobody wants to work with emerging brands. There are today 5,000 D2C consumer product brands who have no idea how to scale offline now, right? And they're all stuck at a certain level in their platforms, whether it's a marketplace or their own website or on quick commerce platforms. Everybody has only that much money. Somebody who's heavily funded will also have some kind of money. Somebody who is not funded at all will have a little kind of money. But utna hi paisa sabke paas hai. You know, there is a limit. Nobody has, an ocean full of money. It doesn't work like that. So unless you start building a scenario where you are able to grow at multiple channels at the same time, I think it becomes difficult to create a brand per se. You know?
So just coming back to the tech and the people perspective, so you seem
I
to
think
be biased more towards people.
No, I think without people, your tech will not be able to do anything. The tech is an enabler, but the people have to execute it. The tech can't execute it.
No, that's correct. Obviously, that's expected and understood.
No, but then people don't expect that. People say, "Maine tech le liya, ab to ho gaya sab apna ho jayega wo."
I have a very kind of a question. This is about communication. You are communicating your product. You're communicating yours. You're in a very, very sensitive space, both of you. I mean, I would just imagine that. Now, this is for everyone actually. But how do all of you tackle this? For you guys, it's sensitive. What is it that you would not say? That's one question quickly. So how do you gauge that, this is where I'll not cross the line? Or in your case, how often do you say the same thing to people? Like, you have another product line, you have another, but it's essentially the same thing. 10 grams of protein helps you. So where do you guys, in your communication strategy, this question is about communication strat. You have, I think, a sensitivity issue. You will have am I overpowering someone with the issue? You might also have a discovery issue. So where do all of you, land? I'll start with Vishal. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in our case, very early on, when we were building the, menstrual business, which is, here is Ayurveda to solve your period problem. We went to one of the leading agencies of India and we said, hey, मैं brand और marketing से नहीं आता हूँ. I come from a strat and operations background. मेरे को marketing आता ही नहीं है. तो can you guys help me? And they said कि हाँ यार ये period space ना बहुत boring space है और बहुत preachy space है. तो इसको थोड़ा fun बनाते हैं. And we'll do, some fun ads. That's the space we intuitively felt never want to be. Oh. Right? कि agency बोल रहा है कि और agency का legendary बंदा है. उसका नाम market में चलता है और वो बोल रहा है कि नहीं आप इसको fun बनाओ as a subject. I said, but I can't deal this subject with fun. So I didn't cross that line.
Okay.
Right? Even though we made something closer, by making a cartoon, film and an ad, but we dumped it, in spite of spending a lot of money on it. Intuitively, dil ne gawahi nahi di ki I can put it out there.
So Vishal, if I was to say it, you're building, and this is kind of in sequence it's happening, you're building everything from a deep intuition, deep down. I mean, that's where it is coming to. Your communication strategy, your decision to go D2C or not, or offline, all of this is counter to what the industry is saying, right?
So I think that's the number one trait a founder needs to have.
This is
if you don't have that trait as a founder, कि दुनिया एक तरफ खड़ी है और आप एक तरफ खड़े हो. In case if you can't take your decisions based on deep intuition and go against the tide, I think there is very little chance.
Anything?
I'll tell you a story. So when we were way back, when we started off with our business, we were one of the first brands to actually put on an Instagram page and talking about this topic. So that question is relevant. It's taboo space, how much can we say, what should we say, what not to say, those kind of things. So we were constantly in this phase where should we not, okay? So we're just tentative. So there was this, but we were putting out some content on, around sex ed, menstruation, reproduction, all of that stuff, we were talking about it in a mild manner. And somebody in my content team, she reached out to me and said, hey, listen, we're slowly getting like these DMs, the messages on Instagram. And there was this young girl, I think somewhere in, this place called Tenali. Tenali is a small place in Andhra Pradesh. Broken English, wrote to us, really deep personal question about, periods, say, for example. And the team came in and like, okay, how do you deal with this? And we responded. And we started seeing plenty of these comments coming. So what we realized is that, everyone, when I started off this business, everyone talked about saying that this space is taboo, it'll be uncomfortable, la la la. But what we realized is really this, okay? Across India, any social strata, women don't have a problem with the topic. Men have problems.
That's an insight,
right? Yeah. Women have no problem. They want to learn more about all of this. So, you go to a retail shop, and we tried this experiment. We asked members of our team to go to a, Bandra famous store and ask the retailer about the pads. Now, so the women is, not uncomfortable in asking, but the guy is uncomfortable. He's like, go there, behind that counter, you can check for yourself. So we realized that women actually don't have a problem to talk about this. But what's important is the tonality. How do you visually and creatively express that is important. So, it's you don't have all India kind of content strategy. It's very different. Cultural sensitivities have to be taken into context. So we realized that what you need to do is talk about it, but talk about it in a manner that is neither condescending or it is not bombastic or
Got it.
Just keep it straightforward.
Sensitive would be.
But just keep it
real
straight,
and sensitive.
Absolutely straightforward. So I think that's the way to think about this. I think content is important.
I think what I realized in the period space, every time communication goes wrong when men are handling it.
So I don't handle it. So FYI.
Awesome. Gayatri, yours is, there's no taboo. There's lots of fun. And your campaigns look fabulous.
Thank you.
It's also got I think, a sense of, I can see lots of colors, So what's your content strat? Let's take it that you don't have a ceiling so are you across India at the same time? Are you talking to the same audience? Or tell us a little bit about that.
So I think we all know that, right? We live in a very diverse India. You're never talking to the same audience. They're always talking to lakhs of people who speak different languages of sorts. So I think the idea was, the basic idea is in a field like ours, right, is that when everyone's saying, oh, buy my product, how can I be different in saying that, I'm not saying buy it, I'm saying why do you need it? What is it that if you buy this, you will get out of it? And I think that is something that is what we've been trying to do through our communication, is to simplify health and tell people that what is it that I'm solving for? When you come from a place of empathy and not from a place of sales, when you're talking to the consumer, you make the consumer feel, oh, I think I need this. I know this is a problem I have. I am not being able to fulfill my protein, or I know I crave something at this time and I know, oh, this is what will help me. But if my campaigns are all about, a communication is all about, oh, I give you 10 grams of protein and I have this and I have no added sugar, which everybody is saying, then why will you buy me? Okay, this is a branding, marketing, strategy. So I feel somewhere you have to put yourself in the shoes of the consumer and be like, what is it the consumer wants to listen and how do you communicate that? The other thing is when we talk about simplification, because I feel there is so much of information out there and it's difficult. I have seen it for a layman today to have this, not have this, what sugar-free, what protein, should it be plant protein, whey protein? I mean, there is, the noise is so much that how do you decode that and make it simple, simplify it, that a consumer sees and be like, okay, I know if I get this, I am getting 10 grams of protein and I'm going to have, this is the sugar I'm getting and this is what it will do for me. So I think when there is so much chatter, how do you make it effective is very critical.
I will also
in
say
this.
lightweight for you, it's more
Yes.
fun.
And that's why the
'cause-
colors, right?
Correct. I
We
think
we didn't want to be preachy.
Yes.
Today, as a nutritionist, I can preach and I can go on a 10-minute rant and say why you should be doing this. But everybody doesn't want to listen to that.
you're surfing the wave, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing the building and you're like kind of coming in. And Shom, any thoughts on that quickly?
So for our case, I think one big challenge that we face as a product line is, you get judged very early, because it's an everyday thing at Indian homes, right? Chutney is something which people have grown up with, and so the only thing that we started realizing early on was to tell them about convenience than anything else. Because then people will ask you, like she said, people are not aware. There are too much information going around. So people are saying, "Isme kya dala hai, kya nahi hai, what is that, what is not." So if you can tell them, no artificial colors, nothing, no artificial flavors. You can tell them. But then, as a consumer, they will only want to, believe what they want to. But the good thing about food is that once they taste it, the reaction is very instant. So you don't have to wait for a longer time to know. They will tell you good shit, bad shit immediately, right? So I think what we have done in the first 3-4 years was only telling about convenience, and now it's more about use cases. So UGCs help us tell us how to use them, what all things can you do. It is not only ketchup, it is not only about dipping sauce. You can do multiple stuff. So again, coming back to thing, there is so much of information flow on the content side also that you have to just keep ensuring that you are at least visible to some, if not everybody else. That's the only way out.
I have a 10-second rapid fire. That's all I have. People, they're going to shoot us. So 10-second rapid fire. Quickly for all of you. All of you can take it. What's the decision you guys waited too long to take and wish you'd done sooner? All of you, one after the other.
Launch
Gayatri.
my second category.
You.
Build a really strong team early on. I should have done that sooner.
I've said that earlier. We should have started clinic way earlier.
Oh,
We should have gone omnichannel earlier.
wow. What's the one thing in your business that still runs scrappier than it should and you're fine with it?
I think I would say content still runs crappier.
But you're fine with it as of now. Ravi, any thoughts?
Should everything.
Typical founder stuff.
Absolutely.
Maybe
everything.
the way we approach growth.
The way you approach?
Growth. How do you
Growth.
think it's so scrappy?
Okay, so you're still making sense of it, trying to make
Wherever
sense
it
of
comes
it.
from.
Gayatri?
I think we do a lot of product launches ad hoc. We just go with the wave. I'm okay because I feel we have to be agile. So I know it's not the best way, but I still think it keeps us on our toes with new products.
I
Shom?
think everything. Everything keeps on your
So I think you guys both are the same.
Every day is a firefight.
Last rapid fire question. What part of founderhood in 2025 no one prepares you for? You guys are all mature, but still. Intuition, that's what Vishal says. Ravi?
The non-linearity of the business. It's just non-linear.
Okay, so
Nobody
you can't,
prepares
no
you for
predictability, you don't know what's going next. Wow. Gayatri?
That it gets easier.
Oh, yeah, totally agree.
That's a
That
nice,
should have been my answer.
that's a nice one, yeah. Shom?
डर के आगे जीत है.
Oh. So we almost done. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much. Do we have time for any questions at all? One or two? Okay.
Okay.
We've got allowances. So let me just give that gentleman a chance. Yes, please. Please introduce yourself quickly and tell us who you want to address it to as well. Anyone else? Raise your hand so I can take a call on who to... Okay, we've got you guys.
So I'm Ronit here. So my question is to anyone who is willing to answer. So the thing is, do you feel a new FMCG brand, which has been 5 to 10 years, is eventually going to fail if they finance from venture capitalists or angel investors, if the products are not disruptive enough? So that's my question.
So one, the product is never disruptive, the founder is. Number two is, धंधे के लिए, I understand now, धंधे के लिए you don't need money, you need intent. If you have intent, you will build the business, paisa will follow.
I'll just
Then
add
you will find backers.
I'll just add a simple thing, for you to, if you're pursuing, any FMCG or any business, and if you have raised funds, I think very early on, if there is one metric that you can look at, is actually ROAS, right? Which is return on ad spend. If your return on ad spend is exceeding beyond 30%, that business will have trouble, right? There has to come a point where your ROAS have to drop below 30%.
Does that help you? Super. We had someone there. Yes, sir, please. Ma'am, Yes, please. Yes, quickly. Someone give her a mic, please? Thank you. If you can quickly introduce yourself and let us know what, yes.
Yeah, hi, I'm Pratibha, founder of Titter Tots, a kids clothing brand. My question to you all is that I'm venturing into a D2C kids skincare and hair care. Online is, I'm understanding well, but what I don't know is how to capture the offline distributors. I have no idea, and you all are pioneer in that area. So can you please share some insights on how, in the beginning, you can reach out to offline distributors?
So I think my suggestion would be, how old is your business?
I started in Phab, but I was working alongside behind the scene while working in corporate.
So I'm saying next 24 months, don't even think of another channel other than current D2C or your marketplaces. Give yourself the time to understand the business. You might want to pivot in between. Just give yourself the time for the next 24 months. Once you're online, you will find people reaching out for offline distribution also at some point in time. Give your brand that time to grow. Don't push it too much.
I'll just add,
it's very important.
I'll just add to what Soumya, has said, and maybe that could be a guiding force. I think in India, you have to look at two things: product market fit and product market channel fit. Okay? So what online does to you is product market fit.
Yeah.
Are there people out there who will pay money for the product that you have created? And in case if you put something online and you're able to scale it to 4 crores, 5 crores, 6 crores per month, and it will hit a ceiling, right? You've just kind of attained product market fit, that there are cohort of people, like maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh people who are willing to pay for something like this as far as your product is concerned. But eventually for businesses to scale in India, the offline is inevitable. You have to get it right. That's where product market channel fit comes into play.
The only one thing I would add over here for offline, if whenever you do decide to go offline, go deeper rather than go spread wider. Take a small area, go deeper in that area, make sure you own that one space, and then you go wider.
All right. Thank you so much. This was really insightful. Thank you.
Okay, we have one last question. Time for one last question. Anyone interesting who's... okay, let's go for it.
So this will be like another rapid fire that you guys earlier handled. So I'm Praveen. I worked for pharmaceutical and biotechnology industry for around 20 years. And now I have gone into nutraceuticals and skincare domain, which is without any chemical. I just wanted to ask 10-second rapid fire that when you were starting this business, when you're thinking about this business, what was the mistake that you made from 0 to 1 journey that you think that you could have avoided if you had more insight, more visibility into the business?
I think for me, 0 to 1 journey is host of series of mistakes, right? I think if you're constantly, it's like Mike Tyson said, you're a champion till the time there's a punch on the face, and you get up and you fight again, right? So I think 0 to 1 journey is like being in the boxing ring and getting a punch on the face every day. And these are mistakes. You need to just get up and be ready for the next mistake.
I agree. I think I think we made many mistakes, but I don't think we would be here if we didn't make those mistakes. So I think I don't want to...
Absolutely.
It's just learning from those. You'll make
I
many.
think the only learning is you need to be able to sustain, believe in what you're doing and keep going at it. If there is also, I have seen immense number of stories where people have cracked the code after 10, 11, 12 years of being in the business also. This is a long tail business, especially consumer product business, long tail. It is not tech. It will take its own sweet time to find the consumer. We are a matured economy. 75-80 साल की उम्र हो गई हमारी country की. Every category is matured, every category is cluttered. So, I mean, you have got 50 guys in the room, maybe 10 of them are doing the same thing that you are doing. So there's enough competition around. Stick around. Patience is the most important thing. Nothing else.
Guys, that brings us to the end of this wonderful panel discussion today. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, can we have a huge round of applause? Okay, like that was a cue, like actually a cue. To our founder panel, come on, a huge round of applause for them, please. We have a small token of appreciation for each, requesting Hazel Menezes from CMPL team to please come on stage and do the honors. I must say, what a start to the day. What an exciting panel discussion. It was worth every bit of it. Holding on. Please come ahead. Firstly, to our moderator, Raaj. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? To Soumyadeep. You're going to keep the claps flowing. Come on. Next, Gayatri. Yes, I like the sound of the claps. Vishal. Ravi. If we can have the panelists quickly come ahead for a group photograph. Yes, in front here. We're going to mark the moment with the group photograph.